Hello, Terry. Hello, Robert.
Hey,
Was that you, David?
It was me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
How was everyone's week?
It's pretty good. So, Terry, you're in Hawaii?
I am. I'm on Maui.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Lillian.
Hello, Lillian.
How are
hi,
you guys
Lillian.
doing?
Good.
The moment, pretty good.
Wonderful. It's great to see everybody. So hi, David, Robert, Terry. How is everybody's weekend?
Awesome.
Awesome. I believe you. I can't wait to hear how awesome it was. So why don't, Robert, you got a big grin on your face. Why don't you tell us why it's so awesome?
I had a great weekend. It was my granddaughter's third birthday party, and her birthday is Wednesday, but we had a family party yesterday. And so it was just, oh, I just had such a great time. I saw people and family that I hadn't seen in a while, and it was just a beautiful day here in Portland. And what else? My granddaughter is just the cutest little bug in the world. So how can I not be smiling? And now I'm mooch docking. I'm staying at another friend's place in their driveway, in my van, for a few days, hanging out with someone I haven't seen in a few years, that I love. It's just been a really cool last couple of weeks, last couple of months, last year.
Wow.
So
That sounds really.
I just got a notice on my computer that my internet connection is unstable. So I don't know what that means if I'll lose you at any point. I'll get back in, but I just got that.
Okay, yeah, if you do get that notification, I sometimes get that too. All that means is
Okay.
that, you may drop off. If you stay, sometimes it'll just reconnect. Worst case scenario, you
Right.
just hit the link again and you're back on.
Yeah, no worries. So no, I've had just an absolutely just beautiful, just awesome, just really heartfelt last couple of weeks. So, and it was all capped off with the birthday party yesterday.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. We've got Haiti just joining us, and we have Chin Mei who just joined us as well. Welcome to the group and to our 90-day HeartMate Consciousness experiment. This is week 2. So it's very exciting. Robert was just sharing with us some exciting things that happened, that he experienced that had him with a big joyous face. And he said he had a fantastic week. And so I encouraged him to share. When you watch the recording, you can catch up and find out what he shared with us. David, do you want to take a minute and tell us what was so awesome in this last week since our last meeting?
Let's see. Well, for the weekend, it was a good weekend, but I was planning to go kayaking on Saturday with a group of people, and it rained. I live in Illinois, and it rains quite a bit, so we didn't end up going kayaking. And then Sunday it didn't rain, and I live in the country, and I have like a garden, And anyway, I was able to finish planting my garden, and I put down some weed barrier, and then it started raining Sunday evening, and it's not stopped. It's still raining. So I felt quite good about the opportunity to be able to get my garden done. And also, I like this this whole concept. It's a very interesting way of thinking about manifesting a potential partner. So I got my water bottle, and I bless my water bottle, and so it's neat. So I like the idea.
That's wonderful. Okay, David, thank you for sharing. Also, if you guys would please type in the chat box your full name and what city, state, and country you are from, where you're right now as the live broadcast where you are. That would be very helpful. Moving forward, I have set my settings so that the chat will be recorded. And that I realized when I went to try to retrieve them last week that I didn't have the settings set to that, so those were not available. But moving forward, we'll have that available. So go ahead, just chat where you're from. In my case, I'm gonna set the example here, my full name, and I'm from Huntington Beach, if I can spell right, Huntington Beach, California, USA. All righty. So Terry, first of all, Terry, thank you for sending us the link for the blue bottles that you mentioned last week. So I did put that on the post. As if you didn't see it, you'll see that after the Zoom link. I did post that. So anybody who's interested in picking up one of those glass blue bottles for our programmable water, you can go ahead and do that. I still have to look into that a little further, but just at first glance, it looked interesting. So Terry, tell us what exciting, fun thing that's putting that big grin on your face today.
Oh my gosh. So just 2 days after, actually it was the next day, I went to a gay friend's birthday party, and it's important to say it's gay because you'll understand why. So he invited another gay friend from the mainland that I didn't know. So when this man walked up to me, I realized what his sexual preference was, which is cool. I have no qualms about anybody being gay, but I introduced myself and I was just being really playful. And I said, would you like to role play with me? And he's like, sure, why not? And I said, would you pretend that you're straight for the party and be my boyfriend? And he says, sure, I'll even be your husband. I was like, oh my God, like he just stepped right into this energy, because role playing just helps me embody it. So he parked my car, carried my lawn chair, carried the food, danced with me, sat with me, calls me honey. And then when he was talking with other women, because there was, many people at the party, he's like, my wife's so understanding. She knows I'm loyal to her, even though I'm talking to other people. Like, it was just so much fun. And as I got to know him, I found out he even embodies the qualities I'm looking for, which I didn't know that when I asked him to role play. He likes to dance. He likes to travel. He likes to eat healthy. He's on a spiritual growth, personal evolution. And I'm just like, wow, now I know to add heterosexual monogamous to my to my list of who I'm calling in. But other than that, I like hit it on the bullseye. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that is evidence that you are on the right track. And it's also showing you how powerful your consciousness is, because by him being gay, it made it safe for you to completely just play along. And because he's gay, there's no possibility there. So you just were at a high vibration, as was he. Able to just play, which is part of the whole purpose of this experience. And this experiment is to show you how powerful your consciousness is, because we do create a reality with our consciousness. And as Dr. Joe repeatedly says, you take a clear intention and you add it with an elevated emotion like love, joy, excitement, fun, happiness, exhilaration. You put those together and boom, things happen. Signs, symbols, synchronicity, unexpected surprises, all sorts of cool things. So we are on a track for the next 90 days. It's actually it's 90 days minus 7 now, or 8. But between now and August 5th, we have this as top of the mind awareness. This is on our radar. 24/7, whether it's conscious or unconscious, but we have all committed to this 90-day experiment. And so we're going to have a lot of really cool things like this continue to happen. And so I want to encourage everybody, Terry, the fact that you were playing, playing automatically puts you in a state of joy, which is a high vibrational frequency. It's actually above the frequency of love. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. There's something called the Hawkins scale, where he shows what the frequency is, what the vibrational frequency in hertz are for each emotion. So for example, you have fear, that's 100 hertz. In fact, if you give me a moment, I will pull that. I have that document. Where the
Yeah, I also find that so interesting that joy is a higher vibration than love.
Yeah, I find it's a fascinating fact that joy is a higher vibration than love. And the fact of the matter is that love is the foundation for you to have joy. You can't feel and experience joy without having gone past the vibration of love. So love is that foundational feeling, emotion, and vibrational frequency. Let me pull up really quick.
While you're looking for that, can I share one more thing?
Please do. Please go ahead.
So the next day I was at the dentist getting a root canal. And when they were drilling my molar, the sound was so loud, almost unbearable. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretend here too. I'm going to pretend that I'm on a jet plane and the engines are really loud. And I just happen to be sitting next to the engines and I'm flying to Paris for breakfast. My boyfriend is taking me to Paris for breakfast. And I was able to be relaxed and calm through the whole procedure.
So you are really using your consciousness, and you are also instructing your brain. You are mastering yourself. So instead of letting your brain go on past emotions of what you would have felt during that, that root canal, which 99% of the time it's painful, uncomfortable, unpleasant. You decided, no, I'm going to hit the pause button on that. I'm going to choose on what it is that I want. And you consciously commanded your brain to go to a place that was more pleasant for you, which pulled it into your presence, which by default is a present to you. And so, oh my gosh, Terry, this is like, you can't make this stuff up. The fact that you're doing this is like such a beautiful, manifestation and proof to us all through this 90-day HeartMate consciousness experience. So that is epic. You just got to keep milking that, keep doing that. You're on the right track. So can you all see the vibrational frequency of emotion? Are you able to see it?
Yes.
You can see it. So if you look at the bottom of the vibrational frequency, you see that 20 hertz is shame, 30 guilt, 50 apathy, 75 grief, and then 100. So basically all the lower level feelings that don't feel good are under 100 hertz frequency, which is fear. Above fear, you have, believe it or not, desire is 125. Anger, 150. Anger sometimes is paired with passion, but it's labeled here as anger. And a lot of people think that anger is bad. And no, anger has a place and a purpose. It is lower than love, because sometimes you feel anger as a result of fear. We're not going to get into those details now, but we'll move forward. Pride, 175. Courage, 200. That means that you feel the fear and do it anyway, but you are in a heart-centered place, which allows you to move through the fear in a heart-centered place. Neutrality, interestingly enough, it's 250 hertz. Willingness, 310. Acceptance, 350. Reason, 400. 500, it's actually 528 to be exact, but it's rounded down to 500, is love. And 540 is joy. 600, peace, which we oftentimes feel during our meditations. And 700 is enlightenment. I've seen charts that go up to 800 and above, but this particular document shows you how, basically, if you just remember, fear is 100 hertz, shame, guilt, apathy, shame, etc. That's under fear. and then love 500, 600 joy and above. So this is science. So it's not just an airy fairy thing. They've actually measured the vibrational frequencies of these emotions over large groups of people. And that's how they were able to actually chart this out. So I think it's really fascinating and interesting. So we're going to keep on playing here. And Terry, is there anything else that you wanted to share? Or is that, those your highlights?
Those were the highlights, although I also did visit a sacred Hawaiian site this weekend and just, meditated there and got downloads. And I'm in the process of recreating my life. And so I sat on the birthing rock and asked what was going to be birthed through me. And then later that day, I went in the walk in the forest and an idea landed. Like within 8 hours, I have an idea of how to move forward, which I'm really, really excited about, which is actually walking people through the forest and coaching while we're walking. Like I might even call it nature walk coaching. I'm not really sure yet. It's still percolating, but something along those ideas.
Wow. So we got some juicy stuff kind of going on here that you're bringing forth, that's coming forth as a result of this. So that's very exciting to hear. So after we get through to Heidi and Chinmay, we are going to then go through and we're going to recap some of the things that we put in our journal, any signs of synchronicities that we experienced, anything out of the ordinary that that we want to share with this group. So moving on to Haiti. Haiti, do you want to tell us what was so wonderful in this past week that's put a smile on your face?
Yeah, hi everyone. I think for me, I've had a little bit more male attention than usual, to be honest. So that's been really nice. I went to just went out dancing salsa with a girlfriend, and I was just approached by a really, a nice guy. I mean, who knows, but and we've been in touch, and I'm not sure if we've got the same intention in terms of long-term stuff. So I just have to suss that out a bit. But it's been nice having the male attention, to be honest. And there's been another example of that just out at a market as well, just being approached and things. So I was with my son, and yeah, so that was really exciting. I am moving house currently, and right at this moment I'm at work and things. So please excuse me that I'm in the car, but I always pull over if there's a meditation. Don't worry. But yeah, it's midday here in Australia. But yeah, so it's been a really nice week. I've been infusing my water as best I can, but in the middle of moving house, I found that I did lose a couple of bottles just a couple of times because stuff has just been everywhere. But I'm going to settle down now. I'm in the new house and I'm going to be very vigilant, I promise. So that's my update. It's been good. Thank you. I've been chatting to my friends in my, not just in my mind, but verbally as well, about how amazing he is and how awesome it is to have met my my person. So yeah, been doing the homework.
Okay, that's really wonderful. So yeah, one of the things that I think that a lot of us will start to notice, you'll notice more than usual, attention from the opposite sex, and maybe even a wider range of age of people who, because you're working with an open heart, and you have more open heart intention, you will find that a larger, it becomes an issue of really not an age thing. It's more of a male versus a female thing, where if you're a female, you'll notice that men of all ages, it could be as, from young boys are more receptive and maybe more engaging, more talkative to you, all the way to much older men. And the same thing with men. You'll notice that from little girls, it could be from babies all the way to older women, that they're going to smile more to you, engage more with you. If you stare at them, they'll stare back and smile, things like that. So you'll find more engagement because, again, your consciousness is, this is on your radar and your heart is open, and your expectation is that, yeah, that there's a lot of love out there, and that one special person is every moment, every hour, every day, we're a moment, an hour, a day closer to coming together with that person. So it's funny because when you are in a state of love, you attract more people. It's just how it is, because you're open and receptive, and it's like birds of a feather flock together. So yeah, that's really wonderful. So, okay, so then we're going to move to Chinmay. Chinmay, would you like to share with us something fun and exciting and what's put a smile on your face this past week? And thank you for joining us today.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Chinmay.
So I've been doing lots of meditation for the past weekend, trying to give myself a lot of self-love. And yeah, I feel really good. Start to feel a lot of love, warm. And also I did a lot of video call with friends and connect with old friends and families.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. So it sounds like you're more, you're kind of going out more and engaging more with your environment and your friends online and in person. So that's a wonderful thing too. So that's part of the process. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm going to share a few things that I thought were interesting that I knew that they were happening because of this experiment that we're doing. So I had a birthday last week. So my parents told me, it's like, hey, we sent you a card. It's running a little late, but check your post office box because it'll be there for you. So I usually go to my post office box about once a week. So I went on Wednesday. And when I went there on Wednesday, I went to get the stuff out of my post office box. And when I went to the counter where you sort your mail and you throw away whatever junk mail, put whatever stuff in the shredder, sure enough, you're not going to believe what I found. And I thought, of course, it's so obvious. It was an angel bookmark.
Cool.
And I thought, oh my gosh, it's an angel bookmark. Normally, you might have people who might leave, whatever advertising, Bed Bath and Beyond, or, whatever different stuff there on the counter and stuff. But the only thing on there was this angel bookmark. I knew it was for me. And it says here, guardian angel from heaven so bright, watching beside me to lead me aright. Fold thy wings round me and guard me with love. Softly sing songs to me of heaven above. Amen. And then on the back, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I just thought that was pretty awesome. So that put a smile on my face because it was very obvious. Then what else? So then I was in downtown Huntington Beach, and actually I have that hanging on. If you give me a second, I have it hanging on my wall. But as most of you know that, with Dr. Joe last year over Christmas, he introduced, I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's a meditation where we basically pick a symbol. And the point of picking a symbol, he picked the fleur-de-lis symbol. And the fleur-de-lis, my name is Lillian, which means lily of the valley. And fleur-de-lis is lily, flower of lily, which is my name. So I thought that was kind of serendipitous. And so it was interesting because, his point was, it's like, we're going to use this symbol to meet in the 5D quantum realm so that we can rendezvous and actually meet up with each other, even though we're scattered all over like 68 different countries. And then there was a lot of really cool things that happened as a result of that. So the fleur-de-lis, I've had the fleur-de-lis on my radar for a long time because I know that it's tied to my name, and I've had things with it, but I haven't bought anything with the fleur-de-lis, whether it's jewelry or anything, for over a decade. So I show up downtown Huntington Beach at the pier, and let me show you what I came across. It's a fleur-de-lis cross. And so I knew immediately that was another sign, and it turned out to be $10, which 10 is a number of completion. So I thought, wow, that is pretty cool. I get this angel thing. Now I've got this cool fleur-de-lis cross. I don't remember the last time I bought anything with any kind of I think the last cross I bought was a Celtic cross like 15 years ago. So I just thought, wow, that was pretty cool. I had a few other things that happened, but I didn't write them down. I probably should have, but anyhow, so I thought those were kind of fun, cool, exciting things that were, very tangible. And so I was very excited about that. So I want to have you guys now share from the perspective as to what were some of the, as you programmed your water every day and you drank it and you experienced that. I want you to share if there was anything that you sensed, whether it was visual, auditory, olfactory, gustatory, kinesthetic sensations in your body. Did you have any kind of unusual dreams? If you feel comfortable sharing, maybe an unusual dream that you may have had, or lucid dream experience, or some sort of astral projection, or anything, it doesn't really matter. Is there anything that you want to share that was related to the programming of water? We'll start with you, Robert, and then we'll move forward from there.
I guess I didn't have any sensorial sensation, if that makes sense, any of the 5 or 6 sense kind of thing, but a deeper sense of ritualistic involvement and purpose with the blessing. So I think it's a case of investing in the process, but not yet feeling the benefit or the result yet. Other than that sense of enrichment of the process.
Okay. Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is, I think, I sense that that's really huge, because the fact that you languaged it as a ritualistic involvement. So that is, it's a process that you're committed to, that something's happening, even though cognitively you don't know the specifics, but you're in a place of trust and you're involved, you're engaged in this, knowing that something is happening. So that's very powerful.
Yeah, if there's one thing that all of my past paths have led to this kind of point, is that this process, Dr. Joe's kind of like involving the high states of emotion with a clear intent and dwelling in that place, excuse me, and then kind of letting it go, surrendering it, is a formula that is like, duh, of course, that is the formula, which kind of segues me to ask you about, what do you think of his new course? Do you know, that's like, it seems like it would be like a incredible foundation for any kind of manifesting. So do you know anything about his new course? Or
I haven't. I just got the notice yesterday that it was just made available, so I haven't had a chance to purchase it yet. I am going to purchase it yet. I am going to purchase it, even though I feel like I really have grasped really well the formula, because I've applied it in all sorts of different things, and it seems very crystal clear. But if there's one little nuance that I can pick that will, I feel that this practice that we're doing, it's a lifelong practice, that until we take our last breath, there are going to be nuances up until that moment of last breath. So I think I'm going to go ahead and invest in it, because I don't think it's just a purchase or a buy. It is an investment in myself and in my family and in my friends and anyone that I come in contact with, because it's going to affect me, which affects everybody around me. So I don't know the particulars of it. I know that it is a training with meditation or meditations included. And so as he continues to grow also in his process, and as he figures out more effective ways of languaging and predicting and guiding us through different processes, then, he's getting that it's infinite source intelligence that is providing that to him because he's faithful to this journey. So, and I have, selected him as my guide, as a mentor, as a teacher, as all of us have. That's how we've all met, is through Dr. Joe. So that's really all I know. I don't know the specifics because I haven't bought it and I haven't started to listen to it and incorporate it yet. But I will, and
Okay.
whatever
Well-
I learn through that, of course, that will be, because it has to do with consciousness. Whatever it's inevitable that some of that's going to leak into here.
Right. So that, to answer your question, I've incorporated it as the ritual aspect, another ritual aspect of my meditation. So, and I really like it. I don't feel it's superfluous or anything at all like that. I think it's another valuable arrow in my quiver of things to use.
Yeah.
So-
One of the things that I've noticed, not just about myself, but as I've taught and trained, many, many people throughout my career. And one of the things that I notice is that in order for you to continue to grow and expand and create in whatever your given endeavor, is that you need to continue to invest in that self-education and implementation.
Right.
And then, so
Right.
sometimes, why do people go to, they'll go to the same church and basically be for the majority of the career of that minister, that preacher, that rabbi, that priest, sometimes 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And basically the message is really the same if you think about it, at the root of it all. Of course, there's different allegories, there's different parables, there's the teachings of Jesus, there's the teaching of God, et cetera, et cetera. But really at the core of the teaching, the principle is really the same thread, but it has to be languaged, it has to be shared, it has to be conveyed, it has, there's a life application aspect of it, for whoever that rabbi, priest, teacher, minister, Buddhist monk, whatever the, Taoist monk, doesn't matter. They have to share it and explain it and then embody it, show how it's applied in their life and so forth, even though the message is really at the core the same. But depending at where you are in your life, you will hear certain things, other things you won't hear at all because you're not resonating with them. And someone will say, well, he said today, and you're like, no, I was there. He didn't say that. I heard him say such and
Right.
such. That's because
Right.
certain things are resonating, and to this other person, something else is resonating. And if you go back and listen to a recording of whatever that is, you'll hear different things. You're like, wow, I totally missed that. My mind must have
Right.
gone somewhere else. When he said such and such, I latched on to that. And then holy cow, I missed all of this. Thank goodness I can listen to it again. So,
Right.
again, it's all a value add. And to the degree that you're willing to continue investing in yourself and continue this growth where you aspire to tune in, tap in, and turn on to greater realms and deeper knowing aspects of yourself, will be the degree with which you have a return on your invested time, dollars, and energy.
True that.
So, okay, Terry, we're going to move on to you. Do you want to share with us your experience with the programmed water and what you sensed? Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, like I said, gustatory, in any form.
So before I drank, I always set the intention that love was going to be entering my body. And so it was really interesting sensing, I guess it was more an intuitive sense of feeling the energy of the water going into every cell in my body. And last night, I don't know if this has anything to do with the other, but I've been asking to remember my dreams because I have not remembered any part of my dreams for decades. And last night I had a dream about my high school boyfriend and remembered it vividly. So that was really interesting.
Wow. So you set the intention to remember your dreams and then you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. So it's giving you more tangible evidence about how having a clear intention does make a difference, and you have the elevated emotion because you said you were feeling the love at a more like cellular level.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very, very interesting. So, wow, that's huge. So I'm going to piggyback on you because, of course, I've been programming water for a long time, but this past week, similar to you, Terry, I started feeling that the love energy of the water was going down, not just to my cellular level and DNA level, but in the space of the quantum realm level inside my body. I kind of felt that it was like bathing that too, which I hadn't ever felt before. So when I had the recognition, I thought, oh, wow, I never thought about that being a possibility. I knew that it could touch my cellular level, hadn't really thought about the DNA level, but the fact that it went down where I actually in a vision saw that it went into like this kind of a dark indigo blue that was representing like the quantum field. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool because that's where all the all is. And so I don't know that that would have happened had I not been participating in this 90-day HeartMate consciousness experience. I know that it's because this is, you know, part of our top of the mind awareness. So I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. And I also found myself drinking more water. Instead of drinking just 1 bottle of water, I'm up to 2 bottles of water just for whatever reason, which can only do you good. You know what I mean? So, okay, Haiti, you're next. Tell us about your experience, what you sensed, what you perceived as you drank, you know, it's been a week now drinking this programmed water.
Yeah, look, it was sort of new for me as well to do, although I'd heard about the icicle experiment. And so I just made sure that my intention was there every time I did the bottled water, but every time I drank it as well. And similar to someone else who spoke, just to make sure that I was feeling or believing that I was taking in love, really. And so I was doing that. And then I did notice 2 dreams this week, which is unusual for me. I don't generally remember my dreams. One was with, you know, with a male, which was, you know, different and interesting. The other one was with my ex, which we've been exes for 7 years. And that was strange, but I'm just hoping it's symbolic rather than anything else. So we're quite good friends. But yes, so that's the changes for me that I've experienced. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I think one of the things that this is letting us know is that as we set the intention that we will remember our dreams as we drink the programmed water and it's bathing you with love, setting that intention that it's like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, because we dream every night. Most people, the scientific research shows that most of us dream 3 hours, which is a long time, 3 hours every night in deep REM sleep. However, most of us don't recall those dreams. But if you set the intention that you want to recall those dreams, then you start to recall them more.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool that you did recall them. And so now as a collective group, if we just set that intention, yeah, we're going to recall more of our dreams, etc., then that's going to come forth because that's valuable information that the subconscious, there's 2 things going on. The subconscious mind is trying to digest certain things and there's certain aspects of it that are trying to be released. Others are a matter of giving you a higher degree of understanding and integration in the all of who you are physically, emotionally, psychologically, energetically. And so as you're able to remember those dreams, then you're able to process them. And then you're like, oh, so now you start to get certain insights. And there's things now in the 3D world that perhaps get on your radar that wouldn't have had you not had the recall of that dream and that experience. So that's super powerful. Wow, Haiti, that's pretty awesome. Is there anything else? Or is that pretty much it?
That's it for me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so the next person, Robert, did we, yeah, we already talked about, yeah, the water with you. Chin Mei, the order on my screen changed. So that's why I was going down and then all of a sudden I have Robert again. I'm like, wait a minute, he was at the beginning. So Chin Mei, why don't you share with us about your experience with the programmed water?
Yeah, this is also something new for me. I've came across, I mean, the experiment of this, all the really nice shape of the water, but I've never really used it for myself. So I really enjoy the process of blessing the water. And I think I've been dreaming of my grandmothers recently, which I don't really dream of them. So yeah, something unusual for me.
Wow. Okay, so there is obviously some really profound wisdom, is my sense. If you have your grandmother in your dream, your grandmother's trying, she's obviously her energy is present with you, and so she's communicating to you in your dreams. So that's pretty awesome, because you can have conversations with her where she's going to reveal things to you and provide guidance. So as long as you're open and receptive to it, which, you know, we all have free will. So that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Very fantastic. So David, what did you experience with the programming of water that you'd like to share?
Well, I really like the concept of the water blessing. It's something I hadn't really thought of. And I live in the country, and normally, and so I'm on a well here, and normally I buy bottled water, and that's what I usually drink. And I often have wondered about it. It's in the city, it probably has chlorine in it, and it's probably dead. And so I decided to use my well water to bless. So I thought, I don't think it's going to make me sick. So, and it hasn't. And so I have taken my well water because it's real. And I thought, this is real. It comes from the ground. And as I mentioned, it rains here fairly often. And I'm collecting water from the rain. And I like that idea because who knows where it comes from. And it's like, it's another form of energy. So I'm when I get what I consider enough, I'm going to pour that. I have my bottle here, which and I had this bottle. I think I bought it at the dollar store a couple of years ago. I had never used it, and I thought it's got this little lid and it's cool. So I went to see if they had any more, but they didn't. And so I've been looking for a couple more bottles. But anyway, I like the concept, so I bless it, and I leave it, and sometimes when I eat, I drink the water, but I like the whole idea. I think I'm kind of like drinking my lover. I thought, well, baby, I just the concept is just really neat. I hadn't thought of it, but so that's pretty much. And as far as dreams, nothing has come into mind at the moment, but
Well,
the water's fine.
I love the way you languaged it, drinking your lover. And the truth of the matter is that the love that you feel inside of you, when you come in union with that special person, it's not them that are giving you the feeling, it's you are allowing yourself to feel your own love just, you know, bubble out from you without any kind of limitation. That's why you have that feeling of falling in love. And it's because you're in a high vibrational state where you're not resisting. And so that feeling, that's you, not the other person. And if that other person is also in that state where they have that unconditional self-love that's not restricting, then they can then fall in love with you too, because they're in love with themselves first. Now, when I say that they're in love with themselves first, not in a hedonistic, narcissistic way, but in a whole open-hearted way where your heart is open, like Dr. Joe talks about, you know, having an open heart. When you open up your heart and you have now heart and brain coherence, because now both of them are working together, You don't have just your brain working with a closed heart, which causes all sorts of problems. But when you have heart and brain coherence, now they're both communicating to each other the way they're supposed to. And now all sorts of, you can manifest, there's no limit to what you can manifest, including that special person. And birds of a feather flock together. So you're going to bring in somebody else who is also in that state. And then you can intend to attract the highest vibrational heart mate that is meant for you in this life experience. Why settle for anything less? One of my intentions that I have written down and that I intend is that I'm going to find that I'm going to come into an experience with the highest vibrational mate that was meant for me in this lifetime. I don't want to waste any time with anything less than, and just move forward from there. So I love that about drinking your lover, because you are drinking, you program this with love. And I love the fact that you had the awareness, you noticed, you recognize and realize the difference between live water coming from the earth, where it's rainwater, you have the natural minerals of the earth, it's water that's alive, as opposed to dead water. A lot of people don't know, but if you take water and you microwave it, that's dead water. That water doesn't do you as good as water that's coming out of a well or spring water. So the fact that you are in tune, you're really in tune to your inner self, to the point where you heard and you responded, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go for the highest quality water. You took live water that has minerals, that's coming literally from the heavens, and you're blessing that. So you got supercharged water, my friend. I'm really excited and proud of you, and elated that you're sharing that with this group, because that is really important.
Thanks. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Well, I'm excited to keep moving forward with this experiment. I think those are some awesome reports that we've got going on. I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of recap what we've been doing, and then we're gonna go to what's new for this week, and then we'll do our meditation. But as you guys know, yes, this is a recap. We are doing the 90-day heart rate consciousness experiment. This is, we already watched the Made Visible, the Superhuman movie. We obviously we're on here, so we're committed to the weekly Zooms. We're committed to daily taking our heart, speaking to our heart mate, feeling the love, and then also taking it a step further. We're visualizing telling our best friend, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with my heart mate. They're so wonderful. What I love about them is this, that, and whatnot. And it feels so good to kiss them, to hug them, to smell them, and then play. That's something I did, when I went to downtown Huntington Beach, I'd be in my car, I'd make believe that they were there with me. And so it's part of that, fun, playful, pretend, make believe. So tell them how grateful. Yeah. The other thing is telling your best friend how grateful you are to have them in your life, and even your heart mate, telling them, oh, I'm so in love with you. I'm so grateful that we are together. Finally, it's taken us a lifetime to come together. I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life, and saying it out loud. We programmed our water daily, so that's something that we will continue to do at least until August 5th. I would encourage you guys to do it as a life process, just because it only has benefits for you. It has nothing negative, only an upside and a positive rate of return for your doing this. And so and I had notes for myself: review our program, water results, journal entries. And so what we're going to do next, I want you all to it's a 2-step process. Possibly some people might consider it 3. So we're going to, if everybody would, does everybody have a piece of blank paper, just plain white paper handy?
Like a journal.
Okay, That's actually the piece of paper. You can write it in your journal if you want, but I'm going to encourage you to have it be as a loose piece of paper because there's something physical that you're going to do with the piece of paper afterwards.
Like a 3x5 card or 4x6.
You can do a 3x5, 4x6. That's fine. That'll work too. So we're going to go through a little process. And then the first part is a visualization process, using your consciousness. And then the second is a kinesthetic where you actually write. So the first thing I want you to do is all close your eyes. So you're going to all close your eyes and you're going to relax from the very top of your head down to your tippy toes. You're going to feel your scalp relaxing, your face relaxing, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, all the way down. You're going to feel like a wave of just warm, balmy water that's just going to relax everything in your body. Now, in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, you are going to see in your mind's eye this medium-sized golden picture frame that's popped up right in front of you that kind of has qualities of an Etch-a-Sketch. If you know what an Etch-a-Sketch is it has a frame. This one in particular is gold, and there's a couple knobs at the bottom. But in the middle of the Etch-a-Sketch, you can take your finger, which is now turned into a stylus, that as you write on the inside of the frame, it's kind of like a web page. As long as you're writing, it'll continue to scroll down. So I want you with your finger, it's going to have golden ink, and you are going to write, and you're going to write to your heart's content until you know that you've got it. You've unloaded anything and everything from your birth up until now, anything that has to do with any pain, any trauma, anything that has to do with betrayal, anything that has wounded you, hurted you, not made you feel good, anything that you could possibly be carrying around as baggage on your back, you're going to let it go. And so you're just going to write down everything related to that and all the life lessons that you have learned up until this very moment. So you just write. Now, some people, believe it or not, when we do this exercise, sometimes they just, because it's people who've harmed them and they feel angry or hurt about, sometimes they just write F you, 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 F you. If that's what you feel that you need to do, this is an opportunity for you to let all of that go. So anything goes. Other people have no idea what it is that their finger is writing, and it doesn't matter because your subconscious mind knows any and all things. It knows exactly what you need to release in order for you to be whole and complete. So you're just going to write, whether you're aware or not of what is being written, doesn't matter. And when you feel that you have written everything that possibly needs to be written and that you've received any and all lessons that needed to be acquired, you let me go. You're just going to say out loud, I'm done. And as each and every one of you completes this, once we've all completed this exercise, I will tell you what the next step is. Do not open your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. You might want to just write, I'm letting go. It's all good. It's all in the past. Anything that your body feels during this process. Some people may feel cold. Some people may feel really, really warm. Those are all natural things to feel. Whatever your body senses, that's perfectly normal. That's exactly what you're supposed to sense. Make sure that your microphone is unmuted so that when you say you're done, that we can hear you.
I'm done.
Wonderful. Thank you, David.
I'm done. It's Haiti here.
Thank you, Haiti.
Very done.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm done.
I'm done, Chinmay.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you, Chinmay. Okay, so now I want you to notice those two white knobs at the bottom of that golden frame. And I want you to notice that as you take the right hand white knob and you turn it to the right, everything gets whited out. And I want you to pay attention to how you feel when everything is whited out. Now, I want you to go to the left hand knob and I want you to turn it to the left. And notice as you turn it all the way to the left, everything is blacked out. So I want you to compare which of the two feels better to you. And whatever feels better, you're going to either black it out if that feels better, or you're going to white it out if that feels better. So once you've done that, let me know when you've got this.
Got it, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Got it, David.
Thank you, David.
Got it,
Got it.
Haiti.
Thank you.
Chinmay.
Thank you, Chinman 80.
And got it.
Thank you. Okay. So now I want you to grab that frame and there's a fire pit that's directly behind you. And I want you to grab it with both of your hands. You're going to shrink it down to the size of a postage stamp. And you're going to grab it, you're going to throw it behind you, and it's instantly going to dissolve. Poof! And you'll see a little tiny bit of smoke that will go up. Now, all of that is behind you. I'm going to count back from 5 to 1. And when I say 1, you will open your eyes. 5, it's great to be alive. 4, this process is for you. 3, you're going to feel 3 times better, 3 times stronger, and 3 times happier. 2, because you too know that you deserve this. And 1, open your eyes. You are one with the one, and you are all wonderful. Okay. So we have, in effect, let go of whatever baggage we've been carrying as a nasty backpack that's been weighing us down, keeping us from a lot of the things that don't serve us, but we're grateful that we had those experiences because they had life lessons. Whether we're conscious or not conscious, it doesn't matter because our subconscious mind knows everything. It has recorded everything and then some. It never turns off. So it knows exactly what it is that we garnished from that. And whenever we need that wisdom, which is a wise dominion over a certain aspect of our life, it will pop up when we need it. We trust that we will know when that comes up, but it's not holding us back anymore because it's all behind us now. So next you're going to take your piece of paper, and on this piece of paper, I'm going to dictate some words to you, and you're going to write these things down. And so you all have a pen and your paper ready? So we're going to start by writing, I am choosing to let go. And forgive all past hurts and traumas in every way, shape, and form, person or persons, for my greatest good. I let go of this baggage that taught
That what?
baggage that taught me certain lessons which my subconscious mind knows exactly all the lessons I learned. And it is now wisdom, which is my wise dominion. And for this, I am grateful and appreciate my life and love it. So what you're going to do after we get off of this broadcast is you are going, if you have a fireplace, you can throw this into the fireplace. If you don't have a fireplace, you can take a metal bowl, or you can take, if you have stoneware, you could put it in a Pyrex, or you could put it in stoneware. And you're going to take the sheet that you wrote that, what you just wrote down, and you're going to crumple it up. You're going to light it on fire.
Ooh.
Now, you'll notice something very interesting as you light this and as you observe it. I'm not going to say what, What I will tell you is that next Monday, I want you to take notes. If you had to light it more than once, how long it took, what were you thinking, what were you feeling as you lit that? And you're going to watch it completely burn. And once you just have ashes left in the bowl, whether it's a Pyrex, a metal bowl, or a stone, like stoneware, like Pampered Chef stoneware, then you just wash it away in the sink. Okay. Our next and final step is to do the Go Love 20 meditation. So give me a moment and we'll stop sharing this and we'll go to the Go Love 20 meditation. Okay, so let me do a screen share so you can see that.
Eyes closed. Take a breath. For love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. Feel it. Notice it. Your heart. And breathe a little love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. And breathe in for love. Into your heart. And and exhale. And relax. And let a little more love into your heart. And breathe for love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. And let love into your heart. And let the thoughts of someone you love bring up the feeling of love in your heart. Feel it. Hold them in that feeling. In your heart. Hold them in your heart. Feel it. Now put their heart in your heart. And feel your love for them. In your heart. That's your love. You're giving them. In their heart. Feel it. That's energy. In your heart. That's energy. In their heart. That's your energy. In their heart. That's love. Your love. In their heart. That's love. in your heart. Feel it. Experience it. Enjoy it. That's the love you want them to feel. In their heart. Feel it. In your heart. Feel your connection to them. In your heart. One heart. That's love in one heart. Feel it. And become one. In your heart. That's love. Your love. For their heart. That's your love. In your heart. Feel it. In your heart. That's energy. In your heart. That's a little more oneness. In your heart. That's your connection. To love. In your heart. That's the feeling. You want people you love to feel in their heart and remember, this feeling know it by heart. That's life. In your heart. Who do you want to be? When you open your eyes, in your heart, feel it. Your heart. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And come back to the realm of space and time. Remember, there's love in your heart.
All righty. Well, I teared up a little bit in that meditation. So it's possible that both when we did that magic golden frame forgiveness exercise, as well as the Go Love 20 meditation, you may have felt, your body temperature may have changed. You could have all of a sudden had a thermodynamic response where you're actually either feeling really hot or really cold. As soon as we dimmed out the image and threw it away, I immediately had a heat response. And so it's not uncommon for you to have physical sensations during these things. So I just want to let you guys know that whatever it is that your body's feeling, you're processing, you're moving energy as you're doing this. So I know someone was coughing. Sometimes that is in response to energy moving inside the body. People will cough, they'll sneeze, sometimes hiccup, sometimes you'll get the chills. All those are normal. Sometimes you can feel like a little zapping sensation in your body. So whatever your body needs to do, just allow it to just be. all perfectly normal. It's all perfectly fine. It's what's supposed to be. Okay. So that is the conclusion of tonight's session. I don't know if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, anything that they want to voice at this time.
I want to thank you, Lillian, for putting this together. This is awesome. And also I want to make sure I wished you a happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, David.
And I had the awareness during the meditation, you know, when I told you about that experience I had on Tuesday, calling that guy to role play my beloved. And I said, I didn't know who he was before I talked to him. I had the awareness that yes, on a soul level or a subconscious level, I did read his energy. Some part of me knew who he was. And with that understanding, I know I'm going to recognize whoever is coming into my field. I'll recognize him just like I recognize the guy on Tuesday.
Yeah, because you recognized the vibrational energy. It's like an energy fingerprint. And so, yeah, you recognize that. So part of this 90-day heart-made consciousness experience is teaching you to trust and to know. You're knowing yourself, but you're trusting it. You're not letting your brain and ego put in doubt and interfere and sabotage and keep you from. You're in a more pure place and you're able to recognize it, realize it, and embrace it and go, yeah, it's like, yeah, this is it. You're trusting yourself, you're knowing yourself, and you do know. And so that's only going to increase over this 90 days, which is, I think, such a beautiful thing. So that's wonderful that you had that awareness.
So thank you so much, Lillian, for putting this together for all of us. I feel very blessed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And, you know, it's a gift to me too, that you guys are willing to participate in this. So thank you for us coming together to do this. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time again. And for now, ciao, my friends and my gems.
Night.
Good night. Good night and good day for the Aussie.
Aloha.
Aloha.